Hey everybody, it's Brendan Burchard, and I am joined by the legend,
Yeah.
Bo Eason. Let's go! Woo!
All right.
Listen, he's got a new book out, and we're going to talk about it. There's no plan B for your A game, but for those who don't know Bo, he is one of my original coaches as a speaker. So if you've seen me on stage or you heard me communicate, this guy taught me about story, and he taught me to movement, and he taught me how to hold my own. And he's really widely regarded as the world's #1 speaker story coach and speaker movement coach. It's like, if this guy gets his hands on you on a stage, he goes, oh, why aren't you moving over here?
Yeah.
And talk to this corner of the room. And he just helps you project and move and find your thing. So he made a huge difference in my life as a speaker. But hearing him, his content was so much about like, hey, have a vision for yourself, have a 20-year plan, work, like dedicate yourself to something singular and important and master a skill. And all those things are part of There's No Plan for Your A Game. So I'd love to talk to you about this book.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
First book.
I would have never written this if it wasn't for you. You writing all your books. Because I remember after I got finished running the play in New York, I got offered book deals because of the play, and I was like, I'm never writing a book.
Yeah.
And I kept saying no, and then I saw you start to, write books and one after the other, and
Yeah.
And then I said, well, maybe I'm just afraid of something. Maybe I'll just write one, and I'll write about the thing that like turns me on the most, which is planning and achieving dreams and things like that. So that's why I wrote the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and I met, we were both speaking at MIT.
Yeah.
Which is still funny because two guys who are totally not qualified to be at MIT.
To be at MIT. They shouldn't have let us on that campus.
And we're teaching like 20 or 30 CEOs, maybe more, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And we're both speaking. I'd never met Bo, and Bo does this play, Run to the Litter. It's this one-man play that the New York Times called one of the plays of the decade. It was ridiculously good. And he is in this little pulpit, because it's at a college, right? So MIT. So there's like this little circle, and then the chairs, stadium style, go up. And like I said, maybe there's 20 to 50 people. And so it's intimate, and we're close. And he's just, it's like he's bleeding up there. He's spitting, and I was
bleeding.
He was like a tiger. He was like a tiger behind a cage trying to break out the energy and the ferocity of what he did. I ran up to him after the speech, and I was, pretty far along in my career, especially where I began. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, can you teach me to do that? Can you teach other people how to move like that, talk like that, architect a story like that? And he was like, get out of here, kid.
Yeah, we love telling that story. It was so funny. From my point of view, all the other speakers, they brought in some really high-end speakers, and I knew who they were. But Brendan, how long ago was that? Like 9 years, 8 years ago, something like that? So you have to imagine Brendan 8-9 years ago, right? So he looked like he was like 16 or something. I didn't know if he was a student there. I didn't know if he was going to pull my car around. I didn't know anything. But all the other speakers were like treating him with such regard. I was like, this guy must be some kind of whiz kid or something. And after, 3 beers at the bar?
Yep.
We shook hands and said, we'll be partners, and that was World's Greatest Speaker Training.
Yeah, we started World's Greatest Speaker Training, which we ran for 6-7 years of teaching the best speakers on the planet how to do better.
Right.
And he was a huge coach for all of them. The subtitle of this book, I think, really resonates with what you do, is like, be the best in the world at what you do.
Yeah.
So when they see this subtitle, like, I would love to hear, like, when you think of like the 3 things you tell people in this book about how to be the best in the world.
Yeah.
What are those 3 things? But also, let's start with maybe, is it okay to want to be the best?
I know, I get that.
That's this big thing now.
I know, I get that all the time. But I always go back, look, whenever there's a question like that, where, are you being too big for your britches? Are you being conceited? When I get those questions, I always have to go back to myself, go back to my roots, and go back to Mother Nature. Go all the way back there. Because if you think about our nature and how we're here, we had to start off being the best. So the day that we were conceived, there was 300 million sperm delivered on that day, and that was, I'm sure, not
improbable,
right? 300 million to 1 odds, and I'm sure that was not a casual swim, right? That was a swim to the death, right? So you and me, and everybody watching this today won that race with the odds. 300 million to 1 odds that they could win that race, yet we won. And I just think with 1,000,000 years of design, and all those sperm have the same instinct, have the same design for 1,000,000 years to fertilize that egg, we won. So now here we are born into the world, and we're supposed to pretend we're not that. We're supposed to pretend we're mediocre, or we're supposed to fit into this little office space or this little cubicle.
Don't want too much for yourself, young man. Don't want too much for yourself, young girl. Be humble.
Right.
Why do you think you can be the best? And that conversation kind of drowns out a lot of people's ambition, I think, young.
I agree. And look, if people argue with me, I just say to them, look, take that up with Mother Nature. That's not really my argument. You were born the best. There's no doubt about that. And you're the one trying to prove to the world now that you're not. I think there's something wrong there.
Wow, that's powerful.
Right?
Yeah. What do you say to the people who are like other parents in your community who literally they'll say, why does he have to, why is your kid trying so hard tackling this guy, and why can't he just get along, and why, because there is a anti-competitive
yes.
Messaging going on in our culture right now.
Yes.
And I think what it does steal from people's ambition.
Yeah.
I don't think you go to be the best because it's ego.
Yeah.
You go to be best because the journey required to get there taps into your heart, taps into your excellence, and it demands that you gain self-mastery.
Yep.
The journey to the best isn't to overrule somebody, it's how far can you push yourself?
That's exactly right. And you said it. You said, son, be humble. There is nothing more humiliating than trying to be the best.
Oh, that's true.
There is nothing.
Yeah, you want to be humble, try to be best.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, and here's, I always promise my audiences, I go, look, hey, I will change my training if this sentence ever comes out of a 7-year-old's mouth. I will change my training. I'll burn the book. I'll throw it away and burn it, and I'll be wrong about what I'm saying. If this sentence comes out of a kid's mouth, hey, mom and dad, hi, I'm 7, I have a dream, and here's my dream. I want to win the silver medal in the Olympics.
Right.
And we could sit here with 100% assurity that sentence has never been said.
Yeah.
People have won silver medals, right?
Yeah.
And I have friends
That's
who
incredible.
have. It's incredible.
But the impulse is gold.
That's what I'm talking about. They did not want that initially. We don't start off that way. So if you are interested in humility and being humble, then attempt to be the best.
That's good.
Attempt to win the gold. You might win the silver because you didn't win the gold. They'll give you a silver. And all my friends who have silver medals or bronze medals, I always say to them, hey, let's show my kids your bronze medal, your silver medal. You know what they always say? I don't know where it is. I'm like, really? You don't know where your silver medal is? He goes, I wanted a gold.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, so where's the silver? Don't know. So that just proves it.
Right.
It proves it, Brendan.
And it's okay because it's I think what's important, I really desperately want you to read this book because we use a lot of different language to describe very similar things today. Like some people will tell you, you know what, you need to give yourself permission. Some people say, you know what, you need to respect yourself. You need to value your worth. At the end of the day, to seek to do something great with your life is what they're really saying. Why be vulnerable? Because you want to be more great. You want to serve better, help better. You want to push the boundaries of your potential, because when you're in the comfort zone forever, life sucks.
Yep.
That's when people become restless, they become aimless.
Yep.
So what's the alternative? Seek greatness or be restless and aimless. I'm gonna chase that journey.
Yep.
I don't want that.
Yep. And there's you talked about the 3 things. I would say that one of those things is definitely humans we're natural at one thing. We're the best in the world at one thing. And that one thing is adaptation. I love that word,
Yeah, I love that.
adaptation.
Yeah.
So what that means is we're the best at adapting, which is why dinosaurs aren't on the planet right now, and we are. And your ancestors and my ancestors were competitive and knew how to win. They knew how to get shelter, they knew how to get food, and they knew how to find mates, and they had to compete for those things. Otherwise, none of us on this what we're doing right now would be here.
Yeah.
So we come from competitive, powerful stock. But the reason we're still here is we adapt really fast, human beings. We're the best at adaptation. The problem is no one puts themselves outside their own comfort zone, which is the only place that you can adapt. So if Brendan and I today wanted to be the fastest man on the planet, right? We wanted to be the best, the gold medalist at the 100 meters, we would have to put ourselves outside our current capacity to run that fast.
Yes.
Which is very uncomfortable.
Yes.
And very unsafe.
And you're gonna trip and fall and
it's gonna be a disaster for first 10 years, right?
Yeah.
But then your body and your brain begin to adapt to a whole new speed that your body did not understand 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Now you're going to the next place. So then when you reach that speed, you have to do it again, and you have to do it again.
Yeah.
Now this goes for every occupation there is.
That's right.
The problem is we get comfortable and we start to get settled and we believe somewhere that we've arrived. And once we feel that arrival, like, wow, I've really arrived, look at me. I'm gonna hang on to what I got.
Some other dude sprints by and you're like, ah!
Because he's adapting faster than you are.
Yeah.
So I say use the very thing that we are natural at, which is adaptation. And the only way to access it is beyond your current capacity. Only way to get it.
Love that.
So struggle, which you talk about a lot, like honor the struggle.
Yeah.
If you're not struggling, you cannot get better. You can't.
Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's a biological necessity
Yeah.
to struggle if you're interested at all in being great.
Yeah. Yeah. Growth requires it.
Yep.
Yeah. The plant has to break through the soil.
Right.
Has to stretch its limbs a little bit. Has to grow and weather the storm. You talk about in here about declaration being so important. I love you to share a little bit about that because there's a couple parts of the book I really love. Declaration, acceleration, domination, things that most people probably don't conceive of. And to me, what's powerful is if you all been looking for like a mental toughness, like mindset guide, so that's in this book too.
Yeah.